What if the biggest opportunity in agriculture isn't growing more, but growing differently? Every year, thousands of growers plant the same crops, compete in the same markets, and hope for better prices. Tomatoes, corn, soybeans, wheat, lettuce. There is nothing wrong with any of those crops. In fact, they feed millions of people. But when everyone is growing the same thing, competition becomes fierce, prices become unpredictable, and profit margins often become thinner than most people expected. Meanwhile, something interesting is happening beneath the surface. A growing number of small-scale growers are quietly focusing on crops that most people have never considered. They are not necessarily working more hours. They are not farming hundreds of acres. Many are operating on small plots of land, backyard growing spaces, greenhouses, or specialty gardens. Instead of competing in crowded markets, they are supplying products that restaurants, wellness companies, herbal businesses, and specialty food producers are actively searching for. The surprising part is that many of these crops don't look extraordinary at first glance. Some resemble common herbs. Some are unfamiliar to the average consumer. One of them is often mistaken for a weed. Yet demand for certain specialty plants has increased dramatically as consumer tastes continue to evolve. More people are searching for natural wellness products. More restaurants are looking for unique ingredients. More consumers are willing to pay premium prices for products they cannot easily find at their local grocery store, and that's where opportunity begins to appear. The growers finding success in these markets are not always the biggest producers. In many cases, they are simply paying attention to trends before everyone else notices them. They understand that a small amount of the right crop can sometimes create more value than a large amount of the wrong one. Instead of asking, "What is everyone growing?" they ask a different question. What are buyers struggling to find? In today's video, we're going to explore 12 high-value crops that many small growers continue to overlook. Some are driving the booming wellness industry. Some are becoming favorites among chefs and specialty food producers. Others are hiding in plain sight, quietly creating opportunities where most people never think to look. One of the plants on this list is becoming increasingly popular among supplement companies. Another is prized by restaurants because there is no true substitute for its flavor. And one may already be growing in places where people routinely pull it out and throw it away without realizing its potential value. If you've ever wondered whether there might be a smarter way to think about growing, selling, and finding opportunity in agriculture, stay with me. The crops we're about to discuss may completely change how you look at the ground beneath your feet. If there is one trend that has reshaped agriculture over the past decade, it is the growing demand for wellness products. Consumers today are paying closer attention to what they put into their bodies. They are reading labels, researching ingredients, and actively searching for natural alternatives to support their health and well-being. As a result, a number of specialty herbs that were once considered niche products have moved into the mainstream, creating opportunities for growers who understand where the market is heading. One of the strongest examples is ashwagandha. For thousands of years, this herb has been used in traditional wellness practices, but in recent years, it has become one of the most recognized ingredients in the supplement industry. You'll find it in capsules, powders, teas, and wellness blends marketed for stress support and general well-being. What makes ashwagandha particularly interesting is that demand has grown much faster than domestic production. Many companies still rely heavily on imported supplies, which creates challenges related to consistency, shipping, and quality control. For growers willing to learn the crop, that gap between supply and demand continues to attract attention. Another crop gaining momentum is tulsi, often called holy basil. Unlike the sweet basil commonly found in home gardens, tulsi is valued for its role in herbal teas and wellness products. Walk through the tea section of almost any natural food store, and you'll likely find tulsi blends marketed toward relaxation and balance. Consumers appreciate its long history, while modern wellness brands appreciate the growing customer demand. From a grower's perspective, tulsi offers another advantage. It can produce multiple harvests during the season, allowing small-scale growers to maximize productivity without requiring large amounts of land. Then there is lemon balm, a plant that demonstrates how simple crops can sometimes create surprising opportunities. At first glance, lemon balm doesn't look like anything special. It is easy to grow, adaptable, and often overlooked. Yet its fresh citrus aroma and popularity in herbal teas, tinctures, and wellness products have made it increasingly valuable in niche markets. As more consumers seek gentle, plant-based products to support relaxation and everyday wellness, interest in lemon balm continues to expand. What connects all three of these crops is not just their popularity, it is the larger shift happening in consumer behavior. People are spending billions of dollars each year on wellness products, herbal supplements, specialty teas, and natural ingredients. Companies serving those markets constantly search for reliable sources of high-quality raw materials. For small growers, that creates an important lesson. The opportunity is not necessarily in growing what everyone already knows. Sometimes the opportunity lies in understanding where demand is growing before the average person notices it. And as you'll see next, some of the most interesting opportunities aren't found in wellness products at all. They're showing up on restaurant menus, where chefs are willing to pay premium prices for ingredients most people have never even heard of. While the wellness industry has created tremendous demand for specialty herbs, another opportunity is growing in a completely different direction: restaurants. More specifically, chefs who are constantly searching for ingredients that help them create unique flavors and memorable dining experiences. Unlike commodity crops, these ingredients are often difficult to source, which means buyers are frequently willing to pay premium prices for quality and consistency. One of the most fascinating examples is shiso. If you've ever eaten at a Japanese restaurant, there's a good chance you've encountered it without realizing it. Shiso has a flavor that is difficult to describe because it doesn't fit neatly into any category. It carries hints of mint, basil, citrus, and spice all at the same time. That unique flavor profile makes it highly valued in Japanese and Korean cuisine. As Asian food continues to grow in popularity across North America, demand for authentic ingredients like shiso continues to rise. Yet many local markets still have very few growers producing it consistently. For chefs, finding a dependable local supplier can be surprisingly difficult. Another crop attracting attention is culantro. Many people confuse it with cilantro because the names sound similar, but the two plants are quite different. Culantro delivers a stronger, more intense flavor and plays an important role in Latin American, Caribbean, and Southeast Asian cooking. The challenge is that while demand exists, availability often does not. Many restaurants and home cooks must search specialty markets to find it. This creates a classic market imbalance where buyers know what they want, but suppliers remain limited. Then there is Sichuan pepper, one of the most distinctive ingredients in the culinary world. Unlike traditional peppers, it doesn't simply add heat. Instead, it creates a unique tingling sensation that has become a defining characteristic of Sichuan cuisine. There is no true substitute. If a chef wants that authentic flavor experience, they need real Sichuan pepper. As interest in global cuisine continues expanding, more restaurants are incorporating ingredients that were once considered exotic. The result is growing demand for products that remain relatively uncommon in domestic agriculture. The lesson behind all three of these crops is remarkably simple. Restaurants do not compete by serving the same experience as everyone else. They compete by offering something memorable. That means chefs are constantly looking for ingredients that help them stand out. Growers who understand that relationship often discover opportunities hidden in plain sight. And perhaps the most surprising part is this: some of the most overlooked opportunities are not rare herbs imported from distant countries. Some are plants that people walk past every day without giving them a second thought. In fact, the next group of crops includes plants that many people would never imagine could have significant market value at all. One of the biggest mistakes people make when looking for opportunities is assuming that value must be obvious. We tend to believe the most profitable crops are the ones everyone talks about, the ones featured in magazines, advertised by seed companies, or displayed prominently at garden centers. But history has a funny way of proving that assumption wrong. Sometimes, the most valuable opportunities are hidden in places most people never bother to look. Take purslane, for example. In many gardens, it's treated as nothing more than a weed. People pull it out, toss it into compost piles, and spend entire afternoons trying to get rid of it. Yet this humble plant has quietly gained attention among chefs, health-conscious consumers, and farm-to-table restaurants. Rich in nutrients and known for its crisp texture, purslane has found a growing audience among people searching for unique and nutritious foods. What some people see as a nuisance, others see as a product with real demand. Calendula offers another interesting example. With its bright orange and yellow flowers, many gardeners simply grow it because it looks beautiful. What they may not realize is that calendula has become an important ingredient in natural skincare products, herbal preparations, soaps, creams, and handcrafted wellness goods. As consumers continue shifting toward natural ingredients, demand for plants used in clean beauty products has expanded dramatically. For growers, calendula demonstrates how a flower can be much more than decoration. It can also serve a growing commercial market. Yarrow follows a similar pattern. For years, it was appreciated primarily as an ornamental plant and pollinator favorite. Today, it has attracted attention from herbal product makers and specialty wellness businesses looking for high-quality botanical ingredients. What makes yarrow particularly appealing is that it combines beauty, resilience, and multiple market possibilities. It thrives in challenging conditions while offering value far beyond its appearance in the garden. Then there is catnip. Most people immediately think of cats, and for good reason. Pet owners have been buying catnip products for generations. But what many overlook is the size of the modern pet industry. Consumers increasingly treat pets like family members, and they are willing to spend money on premium products. High-quality catnip has become part of that trend, creating demand that extends far beyond the novelty products found in discount stores. What connects these crops is not rarity. In fact, several are surprisingly easy to grow. The real lesson is that markets often reward people who notice value before everyone else does. The plants themselves may not look extraordinary. The opportunity comes from understanding who wants them and why. And that brings us to the most important lesson of all. The growers who consistently find success are not necessarily the ones with the most land, the biggest equipment, or the largest budgets. They are often the ones who understand how to connect the right crop with the right market at the right time. After looking at all of these crops, it becomes clear that the biggest lesson has very little to do with any single plant. The real lesson is about how successful small growers think. Most people assume success comes from producing more. More land, more crops, more equipment, more labor. But many of the most successful specialty growers take a different approach. Instead of asking how to grow more, they ask how to grow smarter. They understand that not all markets are created equal. A crowded market often forces growers into constant competition, where the lowest price usually wins. Specialty markets work differently. Buyers are often searching for quality, consistency, freshness, and products they cannot easily find elsewhere. In those situations, being one of the few reliable suppliers can be far more valuable than trying to compete with large-scale commodity production. Another important lesson is that opportunity rarely appears overnight. Most of the crops we discussed today became valuable because consumer preferences changed over time. Wellness products became more popular. Global cuisine became more mainstream. Natural skincare expanded rapidly. Pet owners began spending more on premium products. The growers who benefited most were often the ones paying attention early, before those trends became obvious to everyone else. That is why starting small can be such a powerful advantage. A small plot allows you to experiment, learn your local market, build relationships with buyers, and discover what works before making larger investments. Many successful growers begin with a single crop, a handful of customers, and a willingness to learn. Over time, Those small experiments often reveal opportunities that are impossible to see from the outside. The truth is, there is no magic crop that guarantees success. Markets change, demand shifts, competition eventually follows opportunity. But growers who stay curious, pay attention to trends, and focus on solving real problems for real customers often put themselves in a much stronger position than those simply following the crowd. So now I'd like to hear from you. Which of these crops surprised you the most? Was it the wellness herbs, the specialty restaurant ingredients, or one of the overlooked plants that most people ignore? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoy learning about agriculture, specialty crops, homesteading, and smart growing opportunities, be sure to subscribe and join our community. There is always another opportunity waiting to be discovered by those willing to look a little closer. Until next time, stay curious, keep learning, and remember that sometimes the most valuable opportunities are the ones hiding in plain sight.